welcome back to my shop. Rob Summerlin from Woodsleesummercraft here. Now today I'm pretty happy. I got 2,000 subscribers, so I want to thank each and every one of you, but it would take too long. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you like what I'm doing. Hope you're learning something. I know I learn a lot from the guys on YouTube myself. So today I have this piece of aromatic cedar. It's about 9 inches long by about 6 inches diameter. This is going to be a little ode to our Furtado. So we're going to have a vase. I'm going to turn a vase, and it's going to be a live edge vase. Now I've never turned cedar before, and I'm not big on hollowing out end grain. That's tough, so I probably will use carbide tools for that, just because I know how tough it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it marked out, going to get the centers, because the center isn't where the pith is. So let's get this between centers, and let's make a Furtado bowl. Okay, so you can see this piece of wood is not exactly round, it's kind of oblong shaped. Get an approximate center, so it's about 3.5 there, approximately there. It's about 5, 2.5 there, so approximately there. And I've seen Al Furtado do this, and he adjusts things as he goes to get the ideal center. So I'm gonna refer back to how Al does things as I'm doing this. So 6 is about 3 there, and about there. So they're the two centers I'm going to go with. Okay, so with my lathe on slow speed, I'm going to true up this face to put a tenon on here, and then I think I'm going to get it turned around as soon as I can. I don't like turning between centers particularly. I prefer having it held in a chuck. So on slow speed, let's get this tenon made. Okay, so I'm going to start working on this with my bowl gouge. Going to keep it in slow speed until it really gets trued up. Right now it's really misshapen. It's held in with my 3-inch jaws on my chuck, and I have my tail stuck up for additional safety and support. And let's turn. Okay, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start hollowing this out. Actually, I'm going to sand this down first. I'm going to define this base a little bit more once I've got the weight out of the bowl. But we'll see. I'm going to sand it and give it some oil just to see what it looks like. Bring some luster out of the wood, and then we'll start hollowing it out. So let me sand it and I'll get right back to you. I have this sanded down to 220 grit with mineral oil applied. I find that mineral oil, when I'm wet sanding, helps me find score lines and eliminate them with each grit as I go through the grits. I've noticed that this wood is relatively soft. Cedar wood is relatively soft, and it does tend to score with the sandpapers. And it's obviously difficult to get these wings as they're flying around, so a lot of that has been sanded by hand to this point. So what I'm going to do now, in fact, is apply some Yorkshire grit to the vase base and see how that gets us. And then I'll do this section by hand with Yorkshire grit, and then I'm going to hollow it out. Once I've hollowed out, I may decrease the size of the base a little bit to be a little bit more slender, but I want to get rid of the weight from the front of the vase first before I do that. So I'm going to speed through the process of putting Yorkshire grit on here, and we'll see what we come up with. So there it is, now available in Canada. I'll put a link down below to where you can get it, and if you're not sure where you can get it, it's from me. So let's apply this. Feels gritty, just fairly fine grit though. It's not like sand, it's not as coarse as sand, but it's you can definitely feel the grit in it. And as you turn the lathe and speed it up, the grits get finer and finer and finer until you should end up with a finish of around 600 to 1000 grit, which is not bad considering we've only sanded to 220. Okay, so I'm going to turn the lathe on now. Okay, I think actually at this point I'm going to remove the tailstock. I've slowed the speed down a little bit and start hollowing this out. Okay, so I've got the old Jacob's chuck out. I'm going to see if I can drill out some of the centre of this bowl to make life a little bit easier. Hollowing end grain is definitely a lot of work. It's very challenging, and this is very dry wood. So let's do some hollowing with the Jacob's chuck now. I'm going to slow the speed right down. and watch my knuckles. Clear out the swath. Take a quick look at that. See how far in I am. I'm only about there. That's I got a long ways to go yet, but it definitely helps. Okay, for sanding purposes I have this stick with a piece of cloth tape around it and some sandpaper on the end. Now I don't like sticking my hands in these because it's got edges that can really hurt. So that's why I've got this stick, and I can do my sanding. Will have to be hand sanded because I can't really get to it while it's spinning, so sanding will certainly take a while to do, but hopefully in the end it will be worth it. So I'm not going to show you me sanding, so we'll fast forward to the next stage. Okay, so I've got it hollowed out to about 3/8 of an inch, 3/8, quarter of an inch roughly, and my bottom is, it's way down there. And what I'm thinking I might do now is reduce the size of the base to give it a more sleek look. Right now it's a little stumpy. I'll bring you around the side. Okay, so what I was saying before is I want to reduce this collar right here. So a little bit of a stem almost, but it's going to be a very short stem. I think I can lose a little bit more material here. Okay, so it's been a few days since I've been able to have a go at this. But what I'm now going to do is I'm going to decrease the undercut here and make the stem smaller. And I'm going to make the base a little bit smaller too. I'm almost wishing that I'd left the base as live edge, so I might possibly do something like that in the near future, but for now I need to get this cut down. Okay, that's close to what I want. I just need to get this smoothed out and get my Yorkshire grit on there to get the finish I want, and then finish it off with Hampshire sheen. So I'm going to just get this sanded down to where I need it, and then we'll get some Yorkshire grit applied and get it finished. Okay, so the piece is now complete. I'm quite happy with the base now, more so than I was before. I think it just adds a touch of class to have a smaller stem. It's kind of between a goblet and a vase almost. Maybe it's a go vase. Anyway, let's get some Hampshire sheen on this. Right now it has no finish, just the Yorkshire grit to get that nice finish, pre-finish I should say. So we'll get some Hampshire sheen original on this. We'll just rub this in by hand all over. And then we'll let it sit for 10-15 minutes. Let it dry a little bit. We'll get it on the inside as well. Okay, so we're going to now buff this to get the finish, the desired finish. There's going to be some hand buffing at the edge here. And there is a cedar vase inspired by Al Furtado, fellow woodturner. And I hope I did it justice. Certainly is a nice piece of wood. It was very dry, a little dusty. Like I said, the sandpaper left score marks which I had to remove, but I ended up using Yorkshire grit after 220, and I'm very satisfied with the finish. So what I'll do is I'll leave some photographs at the end for you guys to check out, and I hope you like it. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I really appreciate that. It really helps my channel when you guys thumbs up and watch, and if you don't like it, that's okay. Thumbs down, just leave a comment, tell me why you didn't like it, so maybe that can help improve my channel. Really appreciate it. So until next time, take care.